Good morning, children. Welcome back to the online class. Today, in our English class, we are going to learn Unit 2 Prose. The title, The Night the Ghost Got In, written by the author James Grover Thurber. Okay, the title is The Night the Ghost Got In by the author James Grover Thurber. Let me introduce the author to you. This James Grover Thurber was born in the year 1894 and died in the year 1961. 1894 to 1961. He is not only an author, he had many talents. Okay, first thing is he was an American cartoonist. The main thing is he was an American cartoonist, humorist. You know what is this humorist? In his writings, we can feel that humor, comedy. Okay, so we will all laugh if we are reading his works. Okay, in such a way, he's a humorist, journalist. He had written many journals, and it was published in many books too. And playwright. Okay, playwright. He had written many plays and celebrated with. Okay, so he had many faces. He was a cartoonist, humorist, journalist, playwright, author. Okay, he had written many short stories too. Okay, so these are the different faces this James Grover Thurber is having. Okay, he was best known for his cartoons and short stories published mainly in the New York Magazine, such as the Catbird Seat, and collected in his numerous books. Okay, so he had written many short stories. In all his short stories, we can find humors, and this all short stories mainly published in the New York magazines, and he was known for his cartoons. Okay, then he was one of the most popular cartoonists of his time. Okay, and also humorist, and he had written many comics, and he had the main character about this man James Grover Thurber is he was able to present the ordinary man's life in his writing. Okay, if an author had the capability of presenting the ordinary people's life in his writing, he will be reached the people very soon. His writing will reach soon, because when a people is reading the book, they can feel themselves in that story, because the author was able to present ordinary man's life, all the incident. When we are reading, we feel that these are the common things happening in our own home. That is the thing, ordinary man's life, what are the things happening, everything this author was able to present in his book. Okay, so that is the main thing about this James Grover Thurber. Okay, so here this story, The Night the Ghost Got In, was written in the form of the the author himself narrating the story. So the one night, what happened in James Grover Thurber's house, that is what the author had given to you in a humorous way. Okay, so it happened in the year 1915. Date November 17, 1915. A ghost enter into this other's house. So that thing, what are the funny incident happened because of that ghost entering into his house? These are things we are going to see in this story. So if you want to understand this short story, you have to be clear in two things. You should know all the characters, and also you should know the structure of the house. Okay, so first let me introduce all the characters to you. First thing is the main character. Who is the main character? The author himself. Okay, so author, who is the author? James Grover Thurber. Okay, he had two brothers. One that brother is Herman, and another one is Roy. So James Grover Thurber, Herman, and Roy are the three children of that family. Okay, so father, mother, and a grandfather. These are the members of that house. Okay, who are the grandfather, father, mother, James Grover Thurber, Herman, Roy. Got it? These are the members of the family. Okay, so some other characters will enter into the story. Who are they? Let me tell you. Okay, some policemen and a reporter. Okay, and a neighbor who is staying next to their house, that is Mr. and Mrs. Bodwell. Okay, when the character come into the story, I will explain in detail about them. So now remember these all characters. One family, that is grandfather, father, mother, and three children. Okay, who are the three children? This other James Grover Thurber and Herman and Roy. Okay, they belong to one family. And the neighbor's family, Mr. and Mrs. Bodwell. Okay, they are staying in the next house. And some reporters and policemen, they will enter into their house that night. So when I am explaining the story, I will explain you in detail. So you should know all the characters. Keep these characters in the mind, children. So now let me tell you the structure of the house. Okay, so in the dining down floor, there is a dining hall, kitchen, everything. Okay, so that is in the down floor. Then in the first floor, mother's room and Herman's room. Okay, and in the upstairs second floor, only that is in the attic, that is a room in the upstairs, that is in the upstairs, that is the attic. Grandfather is staying near to that. It's our other's room, that is James Grover Thurber's room, and the next to that is a restroom, that is bathroom is there. Okay, so this is the structure of the house. Down hall, who all are there in that house? It's a dining room, kitchen, everything in the down floor. And in the first floor, Herman's mother and Herman is there, and in the upstairs the other and the grandfather are staying. So what about this Roy and father? Let me tell you, that day they were not in that house. Which day? November 17, 1915, when the ghost entered into that house, Roy and father were not in the house. They went to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a city in US. Okay, so they went there. So they were not in the house. So on November 17, 1915, who all are were in the house? The grandfather, then this other James Grover Thurber, Herman, and mother. These are the four people in that house. That night, when these four were inside the house, a ghost entered into that house. Okay, so how it enter? What are the things happen? Let me tell you. Okay, so it time, it's midnight, quarter past 1 o'clock, that is 1:15 a.m. Okay, in the night, midnight, it was a moonless night, and everywhere it was dark. Okay, so what this midnight this man Arthur was doing, we can see when the story opens, he was in the bathtub taking bath. See the time, night 1:15. Okay, that time the Arthur is in the bathtub and he is taking bath, and just he enter came out of the bathtub. He stepped out of the bathtub and came out of the bathroom. At that time he heard some footstep in the down floor in the dining room. Okay, what was that sound? He heard someone moving around the dining table, moving very fast. So when because of the light from the bathroom, he can see the plates were shining in the dining table. So he can't see anyone there, but he can clearly hear the sound of the footsteps. So first he thought, maybe it may be the father and Roy who went to Indianapolis, returned back to that home. Maybe their footsteps only, it may be like that, he thought. But he's thinking, if they were coming at that time, they might have the ring the doorbell, everything. They will enter into the home directly. They will come up. Then why? It is not that Roy or the father. So the second thing he thought, they may be burglars. Burglars means thieves enter into the home. So he was hearing the listening to the footstep. So now the sound increased. Two or three were running around the footstep that were down the dining table, like that he thought. When he was thinking like that, just he was trying to see who is there, but he can't see anything. Only he can hear the sound of the people who were moving around. So at last he came to a conclusion that it is not burglars, it is a ghost. So now you understand the title, I think so. The night the ghost got in. So now they can this boy James Grover Thurber can he clearly hear the sound of the footstep, but he can't see anything there. So he come to a conclusion that a ghost enter into the house. So soon he ran to the first floor where Herman is sleeping. So he entered into Herman's room and he was shaking him to wake up. Okay, so just wake up, someone enter into our home. That is what he want to tell to that Herman. But if we can see something about this Herman's character. Okay, Herman was while he was sleeping, he will be always afraid of somebody will come and catch him. Okay? In that fear only this Herman will sleep. At that time only who entered? This James entered and he is waking that Herman. So Herman wake up with a fear and just he was he made to understand James Grover Thurber make him understand that he was James his brother, and he informed him that someone entered, someone is moving around in our dining table, just we can go and see, like that both of them now Herman is there and James Grover Thurber, James and Herman, both of them came out of Herman's room, and from the upstairs they were looking down. Okay, so to find out who is moving around the dining table. At that time what happened, they feel that yes, someone moving around the dining table, and that footstep soon followed towards the upstairs, someone climbing the stairs. When they heard the sound, they feel that the stairs, that it is moving towards them, the sound is reaching or coming towards them. They ran from that place and they slammed the door and they enter into their room, Herman's room. Okay, and they slammed the door. Slammed the door means closing it very fastly, that is slamming. Okay, slammed the door, they shut the door with a great sound. Okay, and also not only just slamming the door, this James Grover Thurber is keeping a knee against the door, so that no one will push and enter into the room. For that he was keeping the knee against the door and just was standing behind the door. Okay, so the slamming of the door make his mother to wake up. Okay, nearby next to Herman's room only mother's room. So what happened? Herman was wake up. See, Herman, when the door sound heard, mother to wake up and she was coming out, and just these two boys, after a few minutes they were looking out whether anybody is coming towards that. So they found nothing. Okay, so just they came out. At that time the mother who wake up reached near that boys, and she was questioning, so this midnight what you were doing here, what hell the boys you are doing here. Okay, so James Grover Thurber in an mood, he come and said that no, we are not doing anything here, we heard a sound like that. So the mother also said, yes, I too heard someone moving around the dining table. Who are they, like that? So they mother come to a conclusion that it was a burglar. So they three were standing in the upstairs and looking down, and they want to call the police. Mother said, yes, we can call the police. Okay, but unfortunately the phone is in the downstairs. Someone had to go down to ring up to the police. So but mother said nobody want to go down, because if anybody, any burglars were, any thieves were there, means they will attack you. So please, you don't want to go down. So Herman is also not ready to go down, the other also not ready, and the mother also not willing to go. They were searching for some other possibilities to find out how we can call the police. Okay, anyway, mother come to a conclusion that thieves were inside her home, so she want to call the police. But Herman and this other James were very much confident that it was a ghost, not a thief. So but they were not ready to tell to their mother, because their mother was very much afraid to a ghost than a thief. So let her do her side. We don't want to make inform her that it is a ghost. That was the thought of the author, and the mother was finding out another way to call the police. So what was that idea? She come up with a new idea, and whether it works or not, whether the police came to that home to help them, so all those things we will see in our next class. Thank you, children.